Well, good morning. This is Mark Edelman, speech-language pathologist from the Teaching of Talking, and good day to you. This little video is going to be about staying with it. Staying with it? What do you mean? What do you mean by that, Mark? Well, there are many people with aphasia. There are many people with apraxia, dysarthria. There are just many people out there who have various challenges with their speaking. And it doesn't only relate to people who have challenges with speaking, it relates really to anybody who has something that they really want to achieve, and it may be pretty difficult to do. It may require time and energy and focus. Now, a lot of people would rather kind of be amused, and then they get bored, and then they get amused again, and then they get more bored, and then they try to find things to do. But that just takes them away from a desire that they may have for something big and for something important. Now, I was reading this morning from a book by the name of, his name was Rohn. And he was a very famous writer and motivational person back a decade or two. And in his writings, he was talking about the destroyer, the Indianapolis. And towards the end of World War II, there was a destroyer that was hit by a torpedo. They made a movie about it. And the boat sunk. And it left hundreds of men dead. And yet many survived. And the ones who survived helped each other. And there were many who just gave up. And the ones who survived had somebody there who kept on encouraging them, who kept on helping them formulate a picture of what it would be like when they got rescued and they got home and they were returned to their loved ones, or they found that special person they wanted to spend the rest of their life with, or that they would become a father in the future with children and a job, and all of this. So there were so many people who were in the water and who just gave up because they didn't have a picture. They didn't have something that they could see in the future for their survival. They were only thinking about, oh, woe is me right now. I hope I don't get eaten by a shark. I hope this doesn't happen, and I think this doesn't happen. It won't happen, or things like that. You know what I mean? They were just thinking about the now. They were just thinking about the challenge they had and probably the odds that they would not survive. But there were different people in the water, and those were the ones who were helping others, who said, don't give up. Let's just keep going. What do you want when we get back stateside? What do you want to do? What kind of career do you want after we get out, after we get rescued? And it was these people who helped the survivors who were in the water. What they did is they helped the people who were survivors in the water create an image, create an idea, create dreams. And what happened was that those people who kept on developing a dream of what life was going to be like after survival, they survived. Now, there's a guy by the name of Viktor Frankl who became a very famous psychiatrist, and he was in the Holocaust, and he was put in one of those facilities where people were placed and exterminated. But he wasn't exterminated, and one of the major reasons why was because his focus, his mind was not there. His mind was getting out, developing a profession or an occupation, and he was an avid golfer too, and he played golf in his mind every day. All right? So the thing is, and here's the recommendation, if you're going to achieve something monumental, like return of speech if you have a stroke or apraxia or dysarthria, you've got to have the dream, and you've got to see the dream, you got to hear the dream. And this is not only for those with the apraxia or aphasia, this is for their caregivers especially, because it's the caregivers for those who live at home. It's the caregiver who must have the dream also, because unless the caregiver has the dream, they don't pursue with a rigorous amount of energy a solution to the speaking difficulty. And there are solutions, but there are a lot of people out there who just they just don't want to because it's too hard. They don't want to because it takes too much effort. And I know that for a lot of caregivers, there's a lot of effort. But the same thing goes with therapists. Many are the same way. It's too hard to undergo a complex or profound speaking difficulty. So what do many of them do? Well, they give you a machine to talk with. And what happens? It gets up on the shelf. Most people don't like those things. They don't want to push a button for a box. I mean, there's some who may have to, but most don't have to. Most can be trained to speak again. Is it easy? No. Does it take focus? Yes. It's like being in the Atlantic or the Pacific and your destroyer just sank and you're there treading water, waiting, and doing whatever you can mentally to survive. And that's the secret to getting over apraxia, aphasia, or any type of trauma. You've got to take your mind away from the problem to the solution, and then see the solution, hear the solution, see them talking again, hear them talking again, and have that going through your mind constantly. Now, the last suggestion for this particular video today is to find a plan. Find a plan to help your loved one talk. Find a plan. Find a simple plan. Find an easy plan. A plan that involves talking, not worksheets, and not pushing buttons on an iPad. That's not going to do it. That's not speaking. That's not helping people really talk again. Okay? So you got to find a plan that deals with talking. Talking. Once you find that simple plan with talking, get that plan and start implementing that plan, and do not deviate from that plan. Just keep doing that plan, no matter how long it takes. If it takes a week, if it takes a month, if it takes a year, if it takes 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, find the plan and stick to it. This is Mark Edelman, speech language pathologist. I hope you like this little video. If you have, give me a thumbs up. And beneath the video are a bunch of links. So we hope that you can take advantage of that. We have weekly classes for those who want to learn how to help their loved ones speak better. And we're having a special dysarthria class coming up. And you can get in on our regular mentoring class if you want to learn about speaking difficulties and how to help your loved one talk. This is Mark Idelman, speech language pathologist. Been out there in the field for 5 decades, helping those with aphasia, apraxia, adult neurological problems, problems of children speaking. And I'll be signing off now and hope that you have a great day, a great week, a great weekend, a great month, a great year, and of course, a great lifetime. Bye-bye now.